What the f is up, gents? Dyrakos here, and right now we're taking a look at Arms Warriors in the Legion free patch 7.0.3. In this video, I'll be discussing some main ability changes, some core talent builds, and some macros that I currently use on my Arms Warrior. Now let's go over some ability changes and the basic rotation of our spec. Now we have two new passives. One is going to be Tactician. Now this passive works whenever rage is spent. It has a chance of resetting your Colossal Smash and your Mortal Strike. Number 2 is going to be our Mastery, Colossal Might. Now what this does is whenever you Colossal Smash, it increases the damage of all your abilities by a certain percentage, but only to that target which the debuff is applied. And as I see right now, we have two different specs for our talents to make out two different playstyles. One, we have the nuke damage spec, I like to call, which will be shown on our left. And number 2, which is going to be our AoE or our spread damage, which will be shown on our right. Let's take a look at the nuke damage spec and see exactly how it's being played out. Currently I see it's a high damage burst based on your 8-second window from the Colossal Smash debuff that's been applied to your target. Now the spec doesn't require any initial build up to do your maximum damage. The reason why is because of a talent called Deadly Calm. What Deadly Calm does is the full duration of your battle cry, which is 6 seconds long, it reduces the rage cost of all your abilities by 100%. So you can see right out of the gate you can do your maximum damage without having any rage. Now let's take a look at some of the rotations and abilities that you will prioritize over others. Number 1 is going to be the Colossal Smash. The reason why you want to use this ability first prior to your one shot is because it lasts 8 seconds long. And like I said before, Battle Cry is only 6 seconds long. So to get your full duration and the maximum damage potential of your one shot, you want to use your Colossal Smash first because it lasts longer than your 6 seconds. Number 2 is going to be Overpower. Now Overpower to me is looking like it's our hardest hitting ability, besides our Execute, which is only able to be used whenever people have 20% or lower, but this will be your main ability that you prioritize over anything. Number 3 is going to be Mortal Strike. Now Mortal Strike, you do have 2 charges with the talent that you have chosen, but it's basically your main hitting ability that you're just going to be using while waiting for procs from the Overpower. Number 4 is going to be Slam. Now Slam right now I currently just see as a filler to doing your just to keep consistent damage while you're waiting for your Mortal Strike and your Overpower procs. Number 5 is Whirlwind. Now this ability is optional. It's basically, it does about the same damage as Slam, maybe a little less to AoE, but if you don't want to be using AoE damage and you just want to be doing single targets and not break other people's CC or something, then you want to be sticking to Slam. But if you don't care, then you can obviously use your Whirlwind because it does about the same damage. And number 6 is going to be Bladestorm. Now this ability has a bunch of different functions. You can use it for a big AoE damage, which it's great for, and you can also use it to get out of CC or to actually dodge say a stun that you know is coming for you, and you can use it to negate that effect. Now I'm going to show you a PvP scenario of some of the maximum and high damage output that this spec is capable of. Now I'm going to demonstrate the rotation. First I'll charge in, followed by the Colossal Smash, then my one shot, followed by some Overpower procs and some Mortal Strikes, then just using my filler Slam, and then whenever you see fit, use your Bladestorm for the maximum AoE damage. Now let's go over the AoE spread damage spec. This spec mainly consists of spreading bleeds and doing multiple damage to multiple targets. Now the 3 talents that make this happen mainly are Sweeping Strike, Rend, and Trauma. Sweeping Strike, all it does is let you hit an additional target than your primary with your Mortal Strike, within melee range of your primary target. Number 2 is going to be Rend. It applies the same as it does in WoW, you just switch your multiple targets and apply the debuff of Rend. And Trauma, what this does, it's still a bleed as in Rend, but it's on your ability Slam and Whirlwind. So if you Whirlwind multiple targets, every target hit will actually get that debuff of Trauma, and it does stack with each other. Now let's just discuss the basic rotation because it is different from the nuke damage spec. Now number 1 is going to be your Rend ability. You always want to keep this ability on as many targets as possible so you're getting the maximum damage and the most from your bleeds. Number 2 is going to be a little different. It's Whirlwind and Cleave. Now with both of these abilities, you want to have them stacked. The reason why is because whenever you cleave, you want to cleave the maximum of 5 targets that you can hit, because it increases the damage of your whirlwind. Now those do stack with the ability Trauma, which is why you want to have the most damage of your whirlwind so you're getting the highest amount of bleed that you're able to get. And number 3 is going to be Slam. Now with this ability, it's basically a single target. If you just want to have one target being applied with the bleed, you'll again just use your Slam ability. And now you get into your heavy hitting abilities, which is going to be your Colossal Smash, which still is the same as your nuke spec. All it does is increase your damage to that specific target. Number 5 is going to be your Mortal Strike, which is the same as it did in the nuke spec as well. It's just a main hitting ability, but it also does hit a second because you have that sweeping strikes within melee range, of course. And number 6 is going to be Bladestorm. Now on top of all those bleeds that you have on all your multiple targets, Bladestorm is going to be doing huge amounts of AoE damage on top of all your bleeds, so that's really going to be able to clean up a lot of like trash, or in an RBG you'll be able to wipe a lot of targets at the same time. Now I'm just going to show you what you basically can expect from the AoE spread damage spec. Basically we're just charging in, spreading your rends on all your targets, cleaving to get that extra damage on your whirlwind, then whirlwinding after just to get that trauma bleed spread on as many targets as possible. Then you will be using your Bladestorm whenever you see fit of the most AoE damage. And then also, if someone's close enough to you when they're in that melee range of your primary target, they will be getting hit with that Mortal Strike, and you'll see that later on, just whenever I move, position myself closer to the target, so that it actually does hit the second target with the Mortal Strike. But basically, it's just a demonstration of what you expect to do. You're basically running around, clicking on every target to apply the rend, then just basically cleaving and whirlwinding every 6 seconds, because that is the initial cooldown of your cleave ability, to spread as most bleeds as possible and do the most damage outcome. Now I'm just going to show you a base of what you would expect from the AoE in a PvP scenario, just pretty much running around, spreading your rend, and then focusing on mainly one target to nuke down with your Colossal Smash and your one-shot ability. Discuss some of the macros that I currently use for my armed warrior in this patch. This is my slow macro. It's basically just a charge, and it applies my hamstring macro to keep them slowed, and it'll cancel a Bladestorm or if a paladin would bop you in any situation. This is my victory rush macro, and it does the same thing, which is cancel my Bladestorm and my paladin bop if they would do so, so I have the ability to actually use the victory rush and get the heal. It also has a script macro in it, which all it does is, I'll show you, like if you have red text saying that you can't do something or like something is too far, it just gets rid of that so you're able to just see more on your screen. This is my Pummel macro, and yes, it will just interrupt the cast, but it also has some other key characteristics some players may not know that only pertain to Arena. As you see, it has Arena 1, 2, and 3. How this actually works and what it does is, say you're fighting a mage and a paladin, and for this instance they are stacked on top of each other. Your main target is a mage, but I need to interrupt the paladin. I don't have to necessarily drop the mage as my target and target the paladin just for me to interrupt him. All I have to do is take my line of sight, which would be the mage, and just look at the paladin. Even though I still have the mage target, I just have to look at the paladin. He is directly what's in front of my character, and use this button, and it'll kick the paladin instead of kicking the mage, because say the paladin would be my Arena 2, and the mage would be Arena 1. Because I can't kick the mage, which would be Arena 1, it'll go down to that second line, and it'll say, okay, kick Arena 2, and it'll kick the paladin because he is what's in my line of sight. This is my focus Pummel macro, and all it does is just kick whatever you would set to your focus. Hope this guide has been helpful to new warriors, or just a quick refresh on some of the new abilities and how they actually work. If so, like and subscribe to the channel, and if you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments below.
Shooting stars above, we're laying down below. I remember our conversations. We live our life in our imaginations. The sun is pouring through the hourglass.